First, thank you very much, all of you, for coming here. That's very kind. I think we have a wonderful program on a very important topic. Just want to introduce our Parnas, our president, Mr. Unveiling, who will open the program this morning. Thank you.
I'd like to welcome everyone here for such a wonderful program here at H.Elmaleh-Mikveh Israel. One of the things I want to talk about is the fact that the occasion for which we are here is to honor the legacy of Reverend Leon H.Elmaleh. And to think about that concept of honoring someone's legacy, the first thing we think about when we think about his legacy is 75 years plus of service to H.Elmaleh-Mikveh Israel. That you don't hear that anymore. You don't hear that kind of service. I mean, frankly, at 20 years you get to watch, right? So at 30 years, unheard of. 50, 75 plus years of service. What an amazing thing to think of as we start to think about his legacy. I think about how Reverend Elmaleh wrote many articles and many journals about the things that he did here and the community here. One of the things he wrote about was the Mikveh Israel cemetery. And he was very instrumental in making that cemetery what it is today, a national monument. And I think about the fact that he was then one of the last people to be buried there. So you can see him inspiring a legacy, building the foundation for a national monument with our cemetery, and then being honored by being one of the last people to be buried there in 1972. And then as we continue also to think about his legacy, I think about one of the things that, and I mentioned this yesterday, that impressed me about Rabbi Gabbai, was that Rabbi Gabbai was the president of the Board of Rabbis here in Philadelphia. But I think about the fact that Reverend Leon Elmaleh, he created the organization. And he reached across different lines of Orthodox, Reform, Conservative. He wanted to build something that was for the entire Jewish community. And here, right now at H.Elmaleh-Mikveh Israel, we are continuing upon that particular legacy, because one of the things that we're trying to do is we're trying to go across and build things in the community, things like the Eruv, things like we're trying to build a mikveh, we're trying to work on doing a day school here. But these are all things that are built on the foundation of the legacy that Reverend Leon Elmaleh built. With just, if you think about things like the Philadelphia Board of Rabbis. But most importantly, when we think of this week's parasha, and we think about the concept of legacy, and we think about who we are, we often talk about the fact that we are the children of Israel. And we're not the children of Abraham. We're not the children of Isaac. We're the children of Israel. Why are we the children of Israel? We are the children of Israel because it is with Israel that you get the first time that you don't get a break in the chain of the legacy to the next generation. All the children of Israel supported their father, and it went down to their grandchildren. And so here we are today, looking at the grandchildren, both Michael and Francine, of Reverend Leon Elmaleh, honoring the legacy of this great man, and honoring the legacy of their parents in this particular occasion. You know, and you know, it's fitting, your father being a colonel, and this being also the day that we did our Veterans Day expression, that this family is continuing in the legacy of such a great man, and we honor his presence and his legacy today. And I thank you, and I welcome you all for being here to be a part of this legacy. Welcome.
Parnas mentioned about 75 years and plus of service. But you know, when I look at the children, the grandchildren here, I say to myself, the Elmaleh family, the Elmaleh name, has been associated with Mikveh Israel for more than 115 years. And going on for many years to come. I look at the children, of course, because I know that it can continue for many generations to come. It's really something 115 years plus is something to be really very proud of. It's very good. Well, I just want to say one small thing, because not only are we honoring the memory of Reverend Elmaleh and his wife and his children, which I knew very well. I knew Joseph very well, I knew Miriam very well. Very, very dear to my heart. And when they passed away, like many other people, we mourned them very much. Because it was a great loss to the whole family. Of course, those who really mourn the most of the immediate family, the children and the grandchildren. But I want to say something very important, that in the ministry of Elmaleh, that from the first days that he came in this congregation till the last, he said a sentence in the beginning and he kept it to the letter. And this is what he said when he received the commission of being the minister of this congregation. He said that, "I assure you that I will do all in my power to walk in the footsteps of my predecessor, the Reverend Dr. Morais," wrote Elmaleh on his election. When he was elected as the rabbi of the congregation, he said these words, and he was faithful to his words until the end. And you'll hear many testimonies to this effect. And me, I must say very humbly, that I am trying to walk in these huge shoes that were before me. And that is not easy. To keep the tradition is a very big responsibility. This is a legacy that Reverend Elmaleh has left to all of us, because in that legacy is included all the good things that you hear. How kind he was to people, how he was considerate, how he made sure about the children got their education, all the things that comes with the ministry of that. And of course, when you see Mike and Francine here, you automatically think about Joseph and Miriam. And of course, they also transmitted that beautiful thing that they got from their parents to their children, and their children continue to the children. It's really a great honor to be here today and to remember absolutely wonderful people that are forever etched in the memory of Mikveh Israel. Thank you. We now present to you Mr. Leib Schumann, who has been working very hard on this program. Thank you.